Pleasure Beach. It's December already, and that means it's going to be the last Pleasure Beach vlog of the season. Probably as well because it is absolutely freezing, and the park is so quiet today, I feel like I've got it to myself, other than good to be back.
Good to be back, been a while.
It has, and it's quite cold.
Very cold, glad I'm wrapped up warm.
Yeah, we noticed. It is Mark under there, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering. Becca, Blackpool Pleasure Beach for the first time in what feels like 10 years.
Yeah.
That's been a while for you, hasn't it?
It has. I don't get why I keep coming on cold days.
No, because it's
bad idea.
We're in the car all the way and you're like, I might just stay in the car, I might just stay in the car.
It was cold in the car and we had the heating on.
Yeah, and the biggest numpty of all, he's come all the way from Pittsburgh. Oh no, all the way from Stretford, Trafford, Altrincham, not actually sure. What football team are you supporting today? Oh, don't be stripping off. All right, we're going to move to Jimmy. Here's another numpty. How's it going?
Good.
Good, excellent. Good news. The big one is testing. Whilst the guys are on Big Dipper, we've just spotted that the big one was on its way up. It can only be a good thing for us. Good news. Big one's testing.
Nice.
Block testing, so it's going to open.
Yeah, I
Good.
How is Dipper?
Awesome. Airtime machine.
Airtime machine.
Yeah.
Shall we see just how big a ride count we can get today whilst the park's quiet? Because we don't normally do that in vlogs anymore. We normally just sort of stick to the same few rides, don't we? So, shall we go and do Avalanche in a minute, and then do the Rev, and then see where the big one's up to after that?
Yeah.
Something like that. Enjoy the Dipper?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Sit down in the back seats.
Enjoy your Lancashire hot pot last night?
I did.
Did you go dressed as Walsh or Gromit?
No.
No, fair enough. Did you? Yeah, good stuff. Rumour has it, Mike and Mark and Jimmy are sending a message to each other.
Yeah.
Probably worth a quick mention, whilst everybody goes on Nickelodeon Street, that the opening times at Blackpool Pleasure Beach today are 11 AM to 5 PM. You look frozen again. You're losing your edge.
I'm still not as cold as I was last week.
What happened to the turning up in weather like this in your shorts, t-shirt? Going soft, mate. Going soft.
It's called age.
It's called age. Let's ask Mark. He's the oldest. How's Streak?
I'm the youngest here, I think, today.
Youngest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't tell with all those layers you've got on, to be fair.
Dracula's young and feel the cold, that's why. But Streak was running very, very well though, I'll be honest, it was good on the back row.
Excellent. Got to ask you,
Yeah.
because it's been rumoured all year, Nickelodeon Land, do you think it'll still be here next year, or will it be something completely different but with the same rides?
They're the same rides, just a different theme.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back Beaver Creek.
Funshine Land as well.
Yeah,
Be interested to see what happens.
it will.
Jimmy, I know you talk lots, but keep it quick. What do you think of Street?
Yeah, it's got plenty of airtime on the back.
Excellent. You like it?
Running well considering it's cold.
Good stuff. Stop with the cold, it's not that bad. It's going soft. Never used to be like this, did he?
No, he didn't. But it is cold.
It is cold, to be
It's
fair.
not freezing, but it is cold.
But for Mike levels, he'd normally be on the log flume lapping it.
True. We must all just be getting old.
Come on.
It's not closing weekend.
It is.
Closing weekend.
It's the last
anyway.
vlog of the season, so come on, let's
It's not closing weekend though.
let's pretend it is.
We're not presenting anything.
Oh damn it.
Warmer than Salute.
Roller, how was it?
Very good, as always. It never disappoints.
Never disappoints. Best ride here for you still?
Yeah,
Yeah. That easily.
yeah.
Just been on the Rev. Good news, the big one is now open.
Good.
Both been on the Rev as well.
Yeah.
Have?
Enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Excellent. You're not in shot yet. First time you've been on it for ages?
It is.
Yeah.
It's been quite a while. Yeah. It was good. It's a lot, as always, better coming back than it is going out.
Yeah. Now it's your turn. Good to get on it?
Yeah.
First time you've been on it in a while?
No, I went on about 3 weeks. Whenever I was last here, it was about a couple of weeks ago.
Fair enough. I've not been on it with you for
A very long time.
a long time, but then again, I don't go on it very often anymore. So glad you got on it, glad you enjoyed it, and I guess now the big one's going round past us, it's time to go and think about doing it, I guess. We've taken our ride on the big one, which is in shot with scaffolding. We didn't know if we'd get on it with the wind today, but it's all good.
Seems to have calmed down a bit, so.
Yeah, definitely. It's even open on a full tray now.
Full tray now.
Yeah. Yeah, happy days. So there is a couple of rumours that today could be its last day of the season, so
Possibly.
we're going to try and get a couple of rides on it towards the end of the day, just in case that is the case. So we was talking it was going to shut at the end of November. It's not, obviously, because it's now December and it's
running.
open, so just have to see, I guess. Good to get on it again?
Yeah, it
Cool.
was fresh, but it was running really well actually, given how windy it is.
Yeah, agreed,
Yeah.
because we were like, oh, it's going to be really slow.
It's one of those awkward days where it's running so well, you just want to get back on it, but then you remember how cold it was and you don't want to go back on it and you're a bit torn.
Yeah, exactly, but I'm sure come that last hour, just in case it is its last day,
Yeah.
we'll be lapping it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just
Always decides to interrupt me around here.
yeah, it does. Usually when you're doing Skyforce construction updates, but we'll talk
Yes,
about that thing in a minute.
Let's go past that one.
Yeah. Let's get the talkative two in. Good to get on the big one.
Yeah, it's good, running well.
Yeah, it was.
Really well.
Well, like we said, we didn't know if we were going to get on it at all, did we, today?
No, but it's opened early, wind's dropped, happy days.
Looking forward to a potential retrack because obviously it's scaffolded up for a reason. It's probably going to be a retrack, isn't it?
You'd have thought so, otherwise why scaffold it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Normally you could just get people round on it, but scaffolding's gone up for a reason.
Happy?
Yeah, I think it'll look alright. Like, I always said, like, right at the start when Boulevard was put in, I thought that would be the first thing that would be done.
It's worth noting that Blackpool Pleasure Beach is usually closed in December, so we've been treated this year being able to do the park for an extra 6 weeks. However, it does also mean we get to see cool stuff like this with winter maintenance starting, so Skyforce is now closed for the rest of the season. It's just interesting to see stuff like this. Well, next up is Icon, and well, we found somebody. Hello.
How you doing, mate? All right.
Nice to see you here.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a whole day yesterday with the weather.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. Had to push my mum down the seafront.
Was it that
Right
bad?
to the sea.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay. Just
Just
checking that.
Just hold her up straight down.
Why so serious? There he is. Bradley Walsh tribute act.
It's Elvis, really.
Elvis.
Oh,
I was waiting for that.
thank you very much.
I won't ask you if it was good because we know that you like Icon. So what do you think about Enzo? You looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to having a go. I don't know whether it'll be an upcharge or not. Probably be a different thing altogether. How many cars it's on, we don't know. We're going to lose a row, so I believe.
Yes.
Like you just said, if we have it on there at the back. So I'm looking forward to giving it a go because I think there's a few rides. The one in Plopsaland, is it? Who's got all the spinning?
Yeah.
That looks
Ride to Happiness.
Yes, that sounds fab name, by the way. Sounds like it's really good. So be interesting to see.
I reckon you name that ride, Ride to Happiness. Or
Ride to Smile always. Old boy.
no, but get in the bin.
favourite ride.
Wait a minute, isn't that called Closed Always?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, missed out on that one, didn't we? But never mind. We'll be back next year.
can't miss it if you don't like it in the first place.
Yeah, no, you never got to have your annual go on it this year with me, did you?
Not with you, I did have a go on it
Oh,
though.
did you? Oh.
Yeah,
I missed out that one.
yeah, you did. Don't know where you were that day. Being positive, no doubt.
Yes,
Captain Positivity here.
always.
We love it, we love it. Are you going to give us some positivity about Enzo and Icon? Come on.
Icon's fantastic on the front row.
It is?
Best row bar none on that thing. It's so good, so good.
So when we don't go on the rides here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, we sit and text each other. That's pretty much what happens. We're sitting in the ice lounge and just sitting texting each other. Mark's gone off somewhere else so he can text us and tell us what's going on elsewhere in the park. Imagine coming to Pleasure Beach, playing on FIFA all day. It's not real, you know. It's not real, you know, Jimmy. United won't get any better just because they're good on FIFA.
Are you good on FIFA?
Not when you're playing as them. The warmest place, Blackpool Pleasure Beach in December, is actually in the Derby Racer. It's all enclosed for its winter maintenance. It's quite cool to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, I know we've done out of season walks, but when you're in the park and you see maintenance going on, it's just cool to see it ongoing.
Yeah, it is really good to see. The lights are on there and it just looks so cosy.
It does.
I'd much rather be in there.
Yeah, the thing is, it's probably not as warm in there as we probably think it is.
No, but...
Normally freezing in there.
Yeah, but it's usually open and it's...
Come in shot, Mike, if you want. Come in shot, come in shot. Seems as Valhalla's behind you. Predictions. When in 2022 do you think it'll open? I'm going with May time.
Late May.
Late May.
Yeah, I think it'll be a summer thing. For me, it makes sense if it opened in the summer when the weather got a bit better.
Yeah, imagine
so that
opening
they could
it.
do a big, you know, get everyone on it.
Yeah, imagine opening it in Feb. It'd just be a bit like, no thanks. Pick your team now, Thomas Tuchel.
It's on my name, Fred.
Finish picking your ultimate team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible. Terrible. Come to Pleasure Beach, play on FIFA.
I was keeping up to date with the Latics score, weren't I?
Why, the toilet? Is it that disastrous? It's to go and hide to check it.
Yeah, mate. 1-1 here at the moment.
Who are you playing?
Colchester in FA Cup.
Colchester. Are you looking for a big third round tie against Man United?
You said a big third round tie.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be Man United then, would it?
Still the biggest team. Still the biggest team.
What? In Salford?
Your ground for you.
That's a fair point. Not that they do that anyway.
Which what? The biggest team in Salford?
Well,
Not biggest
because-
team in Manchester, is
do
it?
you want to get a shot? You can't be calling people a clown on camera, Mike.
Salford, you clown.
Might as well be.
Might as well be.
Trafford.
It's in Pittsburgh. Called the Pittsburgh Steelers now.
He's an Alty fan. I don't even know why he's piping up about Man United.
I'm a Celtic fan. Let's not get it right. Bayern Munich. You got Bayern Munich top on today, haven't you? Yeah, I thought so.
You know what I mean?
Anyway.
Just call him like a rainbow or something. It's that many different teams. You know what I mean?
Different team for every day of the week.
Yeah.
In fact, still stands United and fill your ground for you.
Becca, who's the best team? Hearts.
Hearts.
Yeah.
Good old Jambos.
There you go. Not Hibs. Sorry, had to be said.
Absolutely not. And not that other green team that managed to get one past us last week.
Did they play in hoops?
What, hula hoops?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I quite fancy a packet of hula hoops now.
Yeah.
Barbecue flavoured. I'm going to shop. Should we do that? Should we?
That's happening for the drive home.
Yeah, it is. Sorted. You heard it here on first on Pleasure Beach Experience. Hula hoops are the best crisps. Should we go and look at the merch?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't walk into that chair, mate. Actually do. You've not fallen over on camera for ages. This needs to change.
I walked into a tree yesterday though.
Now available at Blackpool Pleasure Beach is Mr. Funshine duvets. They come in single and double sized. Same with the Pleasure Beach Skyline merch as well. And you've got the Icon Blossom trees, I think, and other Icon themed bedding as well. Seems as you've not been to Pleasure Beach with us for about 6 months. Grand National's now closed, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Possible retract.
Hope
Obviously, lots of talk about RMCs from the enthusiasts, not anything official. However, as a lot of people saw at IAPA, there is the RMC Retract 208, so that's always a possibility. I don't know if you know much about that.
Sense,
Yeah,
personally.
that's with the steel, is it the steel beams, and
Yeah.
you keep the same trains.
It's sort of along the lines of the I-beam type
Yeah.
system in there. It's a steel base, steel track rather than wooden base,
Yeah.
steel rail, which is what it uses now.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a conversion as such, but it would be very
It's
different.
kind of a conversion, but not like a full-on.
Steel Vengeance
Yeah.
style conversion.
It's a
What-
different system.
Yeah.
It's the best way to describe it.
And they keep the same trains,
Keep the same
which
trains.
doesn't happen with an RMC conversion
Them, to be
generally.
honest. I don't think they do it any favours, to be
I was
honest.
going to say, if you were sort of, if it was your choice, what would you do with the National? Would you keep it, get rid of it, big retracts? Obviously, I've done a video about it. Mark's chatted about it on video, but we've not asked you.
I mean, it obviously all boils down to cost, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As to how much you're going to spend on, realistically. At the end of the day, it's got to meet cost requirements.
Yeah,
Obviously, there's sort of it's got to be done in a certain way because of the listing and all that. We know that.
what do you think of coasters being listed?
I think it's a daft idea, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know if, I don't think Pleasure Beach chose to do it. I don't know enough about it, but in my opinion, I'm sure it was something that
It's-
they were sort of forced into, and rather than them choosing to
the
do.
thing is, I think you've seen this with buildings.
Yeah,
Historic buildings. There's one quite close, well, used to be quite close to me, and in the end, because it was a listed building, it just got left to go to rack and ruin and fall down.
Yeah.
Because the people who ended up in charge of it, by default, didn't have the cash stream to keep it going.
Yeah.
So it just fell down, and you go from. You know, it risks the same thing happening. I mean, I'm not saying for any second that it would happen.
No.
But it could happen. Say it became a point where it was too expensive to keep it going.
yeah.
Potentially, you risk it just being left to.
Well, that's the thing.
rot. You can't bulldoze it. You're not allowed to. If you're maintaining it, it's got to be maintained basically as was.
Yeah.
Which is not always cost effective, certainly not with a roller coaster. Times change, technologies change.
That's what bugs me the most about it. I mean, I'd love the Grand National to stay pretty much as it is, but smoother.
Yeah.
But I just think a listing is like basically restricting what
Hand
they can
behind
do.
the back,
It is.
isn't it?
You're basically working with one hand behind your back.
You look at it and go, say for example, RMC came out with some sort of new technology that could massively benefit this type of ride, but still basically keep the same ride. And you wonder, would they be allowed to implement it?
Yeah,
Say
exactly.
they developed some sort of structural upgrade,
Yeah.
But
That keeps it entirely wooden.
basically similar to what it is, but in some sort of improvement. But they probably wouldn't be able. They'd be hamstrung. They wouldn't be able to do it
Yeah.
because they're not allowed. Because it's got to stay fairly reasonably close to how it was.
Yeah.
So it seems a bit of an odd move, to be honest.
I don't think it was Pleasure Beach's
No,
decision. I feel like if Pleasure Beach were going to do it, they would have done it long before it
Oh,
happened.
time ago.
You're talking like maybe 90s,
Yeah.
if not earlier. But
Yeah. But no, going back to what might happen with it, I'd be interested to see what companies like RMC could do with upgrading the actual the track, the running track itself.
yeah,
So again, modern technology. I do think the trains aren't ideal, to be honest. I mean, I don't know enough about them
yeah.
to say. I've heard suggestions that they're the lightest formula they can possibly use on it.
Let's bring Becca in as well. What do you think about rides being listed?
I think it's a whole load of nonsense.
Yeah,
I mean, they need repaired, they're going to be replaced. It's not like it's the original wood or something stupid like that.
no. I mean, even the station's listed, and we know that's not original because it got burnt down in 2004.
Yeah, and it was rebuilt to the original specs, so you know they've got the original specs. They could rebuild it if they really wanted to. It's nothing special. It's a circle over the. You know, it's not like it's an enclosed building with a very particular use. It's just a little tower with some bits over the top. It doesn't actually have much use.
And which Pleasure Beach are great at making it look like it did in the 30s.
Exactly.
So it didn't need listing, in my opinion.
It's not a museum, it does need to move on. As much as we do love the old rides, there has to be a middle ground where, you know, the ride gets past its useful life, it has to go.
Like the Wild Mouse.
Exactly, it had to go. It does hold a massive, massive massive amount of space. And for example, if you got rid of the Nash, you'd give this area a whole new lease of life because you could do so much more in it. Plus you'd have everything behind Valhalla that you could do with it. I think it takes up more space than people think because really you only see the station.
Yeah.
But you'd give two areas the opportunity for development separately. So if you got rid of Nash, plus with the space that we've already opened up with getting rid of Trauma Towers, this is a whole area you could really do something else with.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you got rid of, say, Impossible and the arcades in this area, you've got a massive room for expansion.
You actually forget how much that run takes up as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It only feels like that narrow little bit, but it's the whole length of the park virtually. So
if you even just take it out of the station, you'd give so much opportunity in this area, and then you've got everything behind Valhalla that no one thinks about. Then you could pop maybe a Mac Big Dipper or something in there. not suggesting that that's the best thing, but I'd like to see it.
Before we all start getting rid of the Grand National for new roller coasters, can we put one where the Bowlerdrome is, please?
Yes, please.
What do you think, Mark? I think you've chatted about the National, but since IAPA and the show, there's lots of talk about the RMC Retract 208. What do you think about that?
I'd take that.
Yeah.
Because they run very well, RMC rails.
Yeah.
If they can put something like that on that, fantastic. Be a good move for it, as long as it can support the structure.
I was going to say, my only concern is the structure going to be able to hold those steel beams? That's my only thought about it.
That's the only thing. They may have to strengthen it in some places or not, you know, but I'd like them to do it. I genuinely would. It's just whether they cannot.
Yeah.
Given the structure of it, but like I say, plenty of room here for a new coaster.
I was going to say, let's go on Planet Coaster sandbox mode. If they had the money and they had the time and they had the resources to build a new coaster in this area, which they might well do, we don't know, just speculating, what would you put here if you could?
I'd probably go family, you know.
Yeah.
I'd probably go something like Whirlwind, something like that, or Tornado Springs area. That kind of thing, just to bring the families in, because there's no real step up from like Streak to big one, and I think it'd be good for the families.
Good shout. Let's bring Becca back in.
I'd do something different. I'd go for one of those kind of compact woodies that they're pretty quick.
Gravity group style.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have at
Parks and Paul.
Fun Spot.
Something like that. Fun Spot's the one I was thinking of, because that is great fun. It's quick, but it's quite compact, it's quite little, and it just looks great.
Yeah.
I think it would be very fitting in this park.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be too tall, it just sit quite nicely. It would.
I'm just getting out of people's way. I'm not trying to be fancy with my camera. We're literally getting out of the way of these people.
Yeah.
It's alright, I didn't want to get in your way.
So yeah, I'd put one of them in because it wouldn't look quite as daunting as the Big Dipper. It gives something quite thrilling but not too tall, quite compact. I think it just worked really well here.
Yeah, good shout. Mike's turn. If you're building a new coaster in this area instead of the Bowlerdrome, what would you go for?
That's put me on the spot.
Would you like to phone a friend and come back to it later?
I'd be interested to see what Vekoma could do.
Yeah.
One of the new gen.
Let coaster.
Yeah, that's speed. Is it Formula?
Yeah, Formula
coaster, something like that.
Yeah.
Interested to see what they could do with this area.
Definitely.
I mean, I think there was some suggestion of talks around Icon, if I remember rightly.
I think
the preliminaries.
I think there was Icon I think it was Mac, Vekoma and Intamin that all submitted proposals.
Yeah, were consulted. I'd be interested to see again what Vekoma could do.
Yeah, definitely.
Possibly not a launch coaster.
No,
so,
please don't put another.
Come on, Becca, get in shot. Come on.
I don't want any more launch coasters. Please stop building them.
Well, you like Formula, didn't you? And Abyssus.
Formula and Abyssus were great, but the launch wasn't what made them. You could put a drop in and they'd be just as good.
Yeah, you like a big lift hill and a drop.
You know, traditional roller coaster, how they were intended to be.
I was thinking like a Vekoma version of a Megalight type thing.
Yeah.
A bit longer than a Megalight, and probably with inversions, but...
It's got to be something with a bit of substance. We don't want to be putting loads of really short stuff in.
Yeah, agreed. Well, I'm going to throw this in the mix that I don't want it to happen, but I still think they're going to get a B&M dive coaster at some point. That's just what I think.
As long as it's not just Oblivion, and as long as it's not as awful as Barren.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, Barren is really awful. But if it had some substance to it, then why not?
Leesburg have got the best dive coaster.
I'll send him my track design off RCT2 that I did.
Nah, I dread to think. I dread to
It's
think.
actually a really good coaster.
The last one I did lasted about 20 minutes. I think it was
No, mine wasn't like that. Mine was like an extended version of Oblivion.
Guess 326 wants to get off this ride.
yeah,
That one.
Yeah. Anyway, should we go on some rides?
probably.
What? Go on rides in a theme park?
Well, we didn't do that last week, to be fair. We just watched shows and eat chicken.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Here comes Mike and Jimmy on Steeplechase. Did you win? Because you look like you were
cheating.
Cheating?
Him. False start.
False.
5-second penalty.
5, 6. Yeah, but you were well ahead of him on that corner. What happened?
He was cheating.
How?
Because he set off before me.
Yeah, but you were ahead.
He still set off before me.
Talking absolute nonsense.
He pretends that he knows the rules and doesn't know any rules.
A bit like F1, really.
Oi, racing line.
Racing line. Were you on the racing line?
Was he out?
Got the corner. Got a time penalty. I think PBE F1 Fridays need to
start.
come back.
Yes.
So did you win?
Yes.
Yeah.
One on the track, not on the time.
I got a penalty then, though. I didn't.
5-second penalty.
That's all I lost.
Mike loses at everything.
He says that he's good at racing and always loses.
Spends more
It
time.
doesn't help when you take me out. Eat corner
He's just
cuts.
taking you out for dinner. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? Nothing wrong
Eat
with that.
corner cuts.
So it's 3 o'clock-ish. Might be about
Torpedo
5
mark
past.
over there.
About 5 past, 10 past 3.
Yeah.
I think now the next hour and 45 is just going to be on the big one, isn't it? So we'll probably do a bit more filming towards the end of the day when we're nearing the end of the day.
We might well be icemen by that point.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be blue in the face, no doubt about it. He's frozen. Jimmy's frozen.
It's cold.
We've had what might be our last ride of the year on the big one, judging from the atmosphere in the station.
Yeah, more than likely given that atmosphere.
Yeah, so if it was the last goal of the season, how was it for you?
Been running well all day. I'm surprised. I thought it'd be a bit windy, might be a bit slow, but you know what? He's been running very, very well. It's like it's known that he's coming to the end of the season. He can have a few weeks off.
Yeah, and just a few, because it's not that long until the season starts again.
I know it's like, oh, let's have a bit of pre-season now and rest and recover, ready for another season.
No such thing as a closed season anymore.
No, there's not. But you know what? He has been running very well. You know, going over Star Hill, especially, it's been great.
Any highlights of the season? Because this is our last vlog of the season.
Highlights of the season.
Yeah, even if there's just one for now.
It's just been it's been good to experience Blackpool over the summer. You know.
Yeah,
Because it's been absolutely rammed. It took me back to the 80s and 90s when it used to happen all the time, and getting that atmosphere again has been great.
yeah, and that's the staff ride,
Yeah.
which we think might be the end of season staff ride. Oh no, we've got donuts. We have got donuts. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've been given donuts. Can't fault that. So yeah, you had a good season.
Very
That's the
good
main
season.
thing.
It's been the best season for a long, long time, I think.
I agree. Jimmy, had a good day? Excellent. I know you don't like to say too much, so you had a good day. How's your season been here?
Been fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like from that first day in April, that Monday in April, when we all came here after like 6 months of, because it was a full 6 months we didn't come, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bar maybe a week between when the lockdown came in last October to when they announced the big reopening in April.
yeah,
So just getting back here was great.
yeah.
Getting on the rides was great.
Right.
It was a good start staying over. and
Just
all
in
that
case
stuff.
we get moved on, I'm going to do this quickly because it looks like they're preparing to clear the park out. So, any particular highlights? One
Yeah,
highlight.
the event
in September.
event weekend was just amazing.
Excellent.
Like, everyone that went and seen how good it was, the videos showed how good it was.
Brilliant.
Even getting heckled on the way in on Saturday morning
Yeah, well,
was
you,
funny.
You know, you were a little bit
It
late,
was my
weren't you?
own fault, but No, I blame that on Dan Long, actually.
You blame it on Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we carry this on by Noah's Ark where we're out of the way of everybody?
Yeah, let's
As you were, mate, you were saying your highlights of the season.
So we were discussing the event weekend.
Yes.
And
you being drunk?
It might have been.
It wasn't Dan's fault, it was yours.
It was Dan's fault. Dan was buying the Jaeger bombs, it's his fault.
Yeah.
It was also his idea to go out.
And we couldn't...
I'm laying it suddenly at Dan's fault.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well, we know Dan might not watch, so you could just blame him as much as you want.
Well, yeah.
And if you're wondering, we couldn't get Mike on the log flume today, so the closest we could get him to water was this. So if you're wondering what that sound of water is, Mike's not wetting himself, it is just the sculpture gardens. So overall, one of the best seasons, I think.
It's been pretty good, considering, like I say, it was obviously stymied at the start, because of, well, everyone knows why.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've had a cracking season.
Yeah.
Absolutely stormy season.
It's been nice to be part of it.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's been pretty
PBE
full as well.
Feels like PBE has been a part of this season.
Yeah.
With stuff like, I'm going to bring Becca in if Becca doesn't mind at this point as well. Like, obviously me and Becca did the Walk the Woody quite early on.
We did.
We've done the POVs. I mean, I'm going to do a full narrated review of the whole season in a couple of videos time on the channel, but that's why you guys aren't going to be in a video now for a while here.
Yeah.
Till opening day, so, and even longer for you, Becca.
Yeah, I won't be here on opening day. It's not for me.
No, so we'll be here the week after.
Yeah,
but obviously,
we will.
I'll be here with Mike on opening weekend and Mark and the annual run to the big one if it's ready. I actually wouldn't be disappointed if we don't have to run to the big one next year. You know, if we just wander to Big Dipper for the first train or Icon or something like that. What would you say is your highlight so far, Becca? Well, so far this year even.
I think seeing Charlie enjoying it more and more
Yeah.
is one highlight, because he knows the name of everything now. He knows his way round. He gets really excited to come here. He asks us all the time to come here. So when he's here, he really, really enjoys it.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I think the event was quite good, because the atmosphere just from our group was great, and those rides on the big one were excellent.
Woo! Oh, yeah, big one siren. And the thing is, it started on the Friday, it ended on the Sunday. It was just great the whole time.
It was.
Just a great weekend. I hope we can do that again next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully 2 event weekends next year. Any other highlights from the Pleasure Beach in 2021?
I think just the way the big one's been running.
Yeah.
It's had
Oh, yeah.
such a good year. Some of the late night ridings, it has run better than I've ever known it to run. It has put in some amount of work this year, the big one. Its up-stop wheels have earned their keep anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
The airtime on that on some of the late night ridings has been amazing.
I think it's run more than I've known it.
Yes.
Ever run this
Yeah.
season as well, for a long time anyway.
It's not been down any time I've been in the park.
No.
So
And even when it has been shut due to high winds, it's always opened when we've been here. I don't think there's been a day where I've been here where it's been shut the whole day due to the wind.
I've had a couple of days, but those days were like absolutely gale force. I mean, I was here about 3 weeks ago, and you'd look at it and go, there is no way that ride is going to open. And it opened. It opened. It might have been 4:30.
Yeah.
Like a 5 o'clock close, or quarter past 4 and a 5 o'clock close. But as soon as that wind dropped, it was tested.
Yeah, it's crazy,
So-
isn't it? The ops team have been amazing this year, I think. They
yeah.
really have. It's been great to see. Now, normally, I would ask at this point on the end of the season vlog, if there's one thing to improve, what would you do? But I'm going to ask you something completely different. If there's one bit of merch you'd like to see next year, what would it be?
better zippy hoodies.
Yes.
Because zippy hoodies seem to get missed a lot, or they're very basic, or you know they've only got something on the front or only something on the back. They're just zippy hoodies. We need them.
Yeah.
Please.
Definitely. Go on, Mike. He's thinking. He's thinking.
Introduce some of the outside rides again.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, I think the big one range is due a revamp because it's
Yeah.
been quite a while now, and it's since the big one.
I couldn't actually name much in the big one range at the minute, which is probably quite poor given how often I've looked
But
at
it's
it
just
all.
it's still the line across.
Yeah.
It's still the old train design,
Yeah.
which
Which
obviously
were good hoodies, but we've not seen anything new in
Yeah,
a while
I
with,
think
that,
the
with the
big
big one anyway.
big one range is due a redesign. Obviously, the Icon range remains strong,
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah. That's had a few tweaks, so it's not got stale yet.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more for the woodies.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
absolutely. Especially Dipper, because I feel like the Dipper's got a lot they could do with it.
Yeah.
And probably the Nash as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not so much the roller because that's on ruined by Nickelodeon, so you know, there's complications with that one. But
You could still sell with roller coaster stuff on though.
that'd be very
Us
nice.
lot would buy
I'd
them,
buy
wouldn't
all
we?
of it.
Yeah, well, that's like you buy shares in it.
Exactly. So.
But us lot would buy them, and I dare say I speak for quite a lot of the enthusiasts when I say that.
Yeah, I think, of course, the National might not reopen next year, it might be the year after, but once it reopens, if it has a whole load of new merch with it, even better.
Yeah.
And of course, the elephant in the room over there,
Ah, Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
I would imagine
That's
that'll
a
have.
huge opportunity.
I do. I have seen a few things seem to be creeping, making more of a presence in the shop. Maybe not new things, but Valhalla is starting to make more of a presence,
Yeah.
which is good.
I'd say that even though Valhalla's never been a favourite ride of mine, I've always liked the merch for
Yeah,
it.
it's always that good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think back to like the 2000s and its merch was
they
ace.
used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really smart.
yeah, and they had like the caps, like the brown caps were really
Yeah,
nice
quite
as well,
nice.
and stuff like that.
Obviously, those the pots they do, the pint tankards.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
Good
I think
stuff.
for me, one other last thing on merch is stuff for the littler kids, because we're having to buy silly big sizes for stuff for Charlie because little kids do need something as well. And actually, as a parent, I'd say we're more likely to spend money on stuff for the
Yeah.
littler kids than we are some of the bigger kids, because they're so easily distracted by things. So
We
they
know quite a
want more.
few mini
so.
enthusiasts, don't we?
Yeah, exactly, and there's just not much for them. There's lots of like teddies and stuff that are completely unrelated, but I'd like something related because like Charlie does love this place, but there's so little for him. When he's got an Icon hoodie, but it goes down to his knees because it was the small size he had.
well, I bought him a PMBO
Charlie-
top a couple of months ago, and it's a 7 to 8, so it'll fit him in 4 years.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
actually, I don't know actually,
I
but
think the option for the littler kids definitely need improved.
yeah. But otherwise, not too much more you'd change then.
No,
No,
keep it fresh.
keep it fresh, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And to be fair, we've been studying now for 8 minutes, so anyone that's been watching will probably need a wee.
Yep.
Because of the sculpture
Because of that
gardens.
water.
Yeah, so I'll let you close it.
So, it's been a fantastic season.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll see a fair few people next weekend. Next weekend's the final weekend.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing everyone at the start of next season.
Oh, it's going to be chaos in
Oh,
Velvet Coaster.
yeah. We've not had a proper Velvet Coaster for 18 months, have we? So,
No, it's been a
we'll have
while.
proper Velvet Coaster next year, hopefully. And obviously, we've got loads of content to come over the closed season. We've got bits and bobs we've filled here and there. We've obviously got the documentary.
Yeah,
to
Boxing
come,
Day.
which will be out on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. But closing off, it's now raining, so we're going to close off the Pleasure Beach season by saying thanks for everyone for watching, and of course, watch the next Pleasure Beach Experience video. Thanks a lot.
And of course, if this is the only chance I get to say it, massive thank you to all of the Blackpool Pleasure Beach staff in 2021.